Hello everybody, Bubbles here and welcome back to HOI4. In today's video we're going to be playing as the Netherlands forming the EU, but not with the democratic tree, we're going to be doing it with the communist tree. So let's get started. First things first, research slots, standard electronics, industry and so on. For our civs it's just going to be mill spam. For actual mills and dockyards, we'll keep this one factory on weapons, we'll add one for civilian trains and the rest to artillery. For our dockyards, it's just going to be sub-spam. Speaking of the navy, let's gather it all up under one stack. This little one will do. There we go. And now we're going to exercise them forever. Or, well, almost forever. Next up, the army. You see it? Now you don't. We're also going to create an intelligence agency, always useful. And that is pretty much all of our prep out the way. So all that's left to do now is our focus, form new government, and go up to speed 5, and begin. Of course, it's always useful as well just to deploy all future suds into the main fleet. And next up, gateway to Europe. And with our new government comes a new leader, and in my opinion, Jörg Jandegeer is the worst leader in HOI4. Look at him. Surrender limit minus 25%, minus 10% war support. Oh, that's not good at all. I know some of you might be thinking about Greece's leader, Demetrius, but at least his bad trait has already gone away. It's only minus 5% stability. And with 35 naval XP, let's go for naval reform. Plus 15% XP gain. Why shouldn't you go for that? And there we go, gateway to Europe. We can't maintain trade neutrality right now, so next up, we're going to be abandoning the gold standard. And for the gateway to Europe decisions, we have to get both Britain and Germany up to 50, so we're going to have to be spamming these for a while. And right now, we're just going to hold focus until we reach 50 points. Alright, Britain's at 50 and Germany's at 45, so only Germany this time. But alright, finally we can maintain trade neutrality, because Germany actually did do a decision. One day before we would have gotten enough points anyway. And next up, the legacy of the 7 provinces mutiny. And yes, we managed to attain trade neutrality. We've got a lot of political power for it. So let's use some of it. First up, we're going to ban fascism. And with that, we can finally hire ourselves the Communist Revolutionary. We can't continue down the Communist focus tree for some time, so next up we're going to overturn the military budget cuts. Look at that, Communist support is going up by 0.2 a day. That's pretty fast. 20 command power means a military high command, so let's start off with the infantry experts. And let's prepare naval expansion. 3 extra dockyards, very good. We're having an election, and should we have communist government? The answer to that is rather reform than revolution. Next up, new Supreme Commander. We still need a few more percent, but that 10-3% was very useful. Right, finally we're over 40%, so we're going to open up political discourse, discredit the government, hold a national referendum, and overthrow them. There we go, finally flipped communist. Immediately, next up, we're going to justify on Oman. 240 days, 15th of February. Not bad. Next up, we're going to fire the Communist Revolutionary. We don't need him anymore. Alright, what should we do next? Well, we're going to be working our way down to war on pacifism at some point, so we're going to do the Indian Nation lines next. Another 20 command power, so let's go for someone new. Let's go for the armed defense expert. Weird how the concealment guy costs 30 command power but gives less XP. We're going to be defending against Britain today. We kind of need Germany on side, so better to upset Britain than them. Anyway, 35 XP, that means Pro Officer Corps. The extra command power this gives us will be very useful because our war support is just so low. Alright, not enough tension to do war on pacifism, that's okay. Let's do Cornerstone of Colonial Defence. Actually, I'm jumping the gun on that one, aren't I? Yeah. Something like Continue the Public Works is probably better for the industry boost. What was I thinking? Next up instead, we're going to expand the Amsterdam Petroleum Harbour. In the past, I might have justified on Spain to do what I want to do, but as you can see here, it's not really worth justifying on Spain anymore. They die so quickly. Right, it's now 30 days until War of Oman, so next up, Lend-Lease. We're going to improve relations with Germany, Italy, and why not Japan? All of them can help us. I would improve the Soviet Union, but we don't have to. Already I've grabbed military access and a non-aggression pact, which gives us more than enough relations for Lend-Lease. Next up, let's create our ideal template. Colonial template, Dutch East Indies, Infantry Division, copy. This is a pretty good basis, but we can make it better. So let's duplicate, add 1 infantry, add artillery, and support artillery. There we go. We're going to be training up 72 of these, and that will take us pretty far. Alright, we're just going to wait until Lancers, because world tension will be kicked over 15%. Oh, and what do you know, there it is, let's do it. And we're just under 25%, so there should be no guarantee nonsense. Anyway, let's immediately declare, just so there are no shenanigans. And let's immediately get as much Lend-Lease as we can. So Germany, Italy, you know what I'm here for, hand it over. Oh wow, Italy's producing artillery very early. I know if no one else got me, I know Lend-Lease got me. And next up, we're also going to start to build some convoys. We're going to need them. Let's just build them now. So 3 dockyards, again onto subs, but 3 onto convoys. And there you go, there goes Spain. Can't Lend-Lease with them anymore. If we did, we would have gotten one delivery. So sorry Spain, you were good in the old days, but these days, nope. And of course, every month, repression Lend-Lease. Something I have actually forgotten is that Lend-Lease can also include convoys, so let's also ask them for that. Oh wow, the Soviets are even out of artillery now. And convoys. Good start, Stalin. Good start. 30 convoys apiece from them. I'm on board with that. I remember in the past it would just say convoy when you did this and you wouldn't actually get any. So I'd rather have 30 than 0. Finally got that one out of the way. And let's also finally get Cornerstone of Colonial Defense out of the way. For the decisions related to this, we are just going to be doing the most expensive one, anti-pacifist propaganda, until the national spirit is gone. May as well sap our political power quickly, but get all the benefits. Oh wow, we've already solved the artillery deficit. That's pretty good. Didn't expect it to go away that quickly. Anyway, the first of our units are ready. Let's deploy them. 10 of them, that's perfect. We'll put these on a naval invasion to eventually go after Oman. Don't need to naval invade them for some time, but may as well be ready. So 5 will go direct to Muscat, and the remaining 5 will go to this tile right here. Oman usually only has like 1 unit anyway, so we should be fine. And just preemptively, let's also send a sub over there, just so we can give them the supremacy when we need to. A 1936 sub, of course. Alright, for focus now, let's just do industry, so like Nordostpolder, Mass Tunnel, and the artillery stuff. And let's finally rush down our naval doctrine. I've been waiting for these boosts for some time. Damn, we got almost to combined operations raiding. Wow. I think Bravadin would be a lot easier if I did that. Okay, we have 3 units ready to deploy, so let's do that. Well, 14 then, whatever. We'll break them up into 3 army groups. There we go, we'll put them on a full back line in the continental Netherlands and have all future units deployed to that. So as soon as they're ready, they'll deploy and they'll go there. Don't need to micromanage them now. Alright, 1st of August, let's improve relations with Hungary. They're about to flip fascist and will also be able to give us a lot of Lend-Lease. Which doctrine? Well, let's be honest, there's only one real candidate today. Keep the Lend-Lease coming, guys. Keep it coming. We can always make our deficit bigger like I've done now to get even more. And we have finished the submarine naval doctrine. Wow. I guess we can finally end the never-ending exercise, because that's pretty much everything they'd need to do. Right, that's pretty much all the equipment we'll need for the main 72 divisions, but we are going to need a lot more divisions. We're not only fighting the Allies today, we're also going to be fighting the Axis. I'm sure I could fight the Axis fairly, but we're not going to do that today. We're going to order 66 the Axis, so let's make an order 66 unit as well. Using this unit from the Dutch East Indies, let's just make it 2 width, there we go. And we are going to get 720 of these. Yep, I know that sounds like a complete a lot, but that is genuinely how many we're going to need. So it'll be a full army group for each country. So let's see how much of this we can afford. It's actually only the infantry equipment we need. 72,000, funnily enough. I can work with that. Do you have the manpower? You do. Nice. So only a few more months of Lend-Lease and we'll be pretty much golden. I know some of you aren't fans of Order 66, but I also know some of you are. And to be honest, the only reason I'm using it is because we're fighting Germany. I don't like fighting Germany fairly, it's rarely fun. Alright, we have 40 command power, so let's get ourselves a Field Marshal. We could use Henry Shotman, but there are two much better candidates. I'd say Gottfried or Petrus would be good, but let's go with Petrus as he's an organiser. These 8 divisions that the Dutch East Indies already had, I'm going to send them to defend Suriname and Curaçao. If the Dutch East Indies in your game somehow doesn't have enough manpower, the easy way to solve this is just call them into the War of Oman and they should jump up to a limited conscription. But in my game, they've already done it. I guess they knew what I was planning. I keep forgetting about the Soviets. I think eventually they do get equipment they can give you, but in the early game, they don't have much. In the past, they would be able to give a lot of equipment from the start, but not anymore. Alright, that's that done. I could do the Zaldazay works, but nah. What I'm going to be doing is working my way down to Antilles defences, starting with colonial investments. Believe it or not, with this Lend-Lease, we should have enough equipment. Crazy. Crazy how far being nice can get you in this game. I'm going to keep going until fate to Czechoslovakia, but we could stop now if we wanted to. And with that, at least every unit can be deployed now, so let's do it. God, there's so many of them. 1 of 1, plop, and there we go, just a casual 720 divisions. Right, I'm going to quickly break this up into 2 army groups. And there we go, that was a lot of clicking, let me tell you. Now, I would send them into the Axis, but I don't have military access from them yet. So where am I going to keep all these units? Not in the Dutch East Indies, I'm going to put them in the Soviet Union. The Soviet Union is a very safe place for them to be. They can't be convoy raided, they can't be intercepted, they can't be anything. We're just going to put them here and leave them there until they are needed. Hell, we could use the East Order 66 the Soviet Union if we wanted to, but I think that's for another day. Something like this will do for both of them. And now let's just send them via Vladivostok or something, doesn't really matter, they just need to get there. And this is why we've been trying to get as many convoys as we can. I can't afford this. I can only move how many? Actually quite a few at a time, but still. Anyway, there's fate of Czechoslovakia, and let's do our final Lend-Lease. Now, I would invade Oman right now, but I accidentally put Winkelmann's divisions in the sea. Which wasn't my wisest move, not gonna lie, but oh well, I could just send them back to Indonesia. Alright, Navy is on convoy raiding in all the sea zones we need. Looks like we can't get the Persian Gulf, but we can at least get 5 units to this tile, which I think should be enough anyway. Right, if you guys got all back, good, go. And there's landfall, and there's... oh no, invisible unit glitch. Weird. But anyway, we seem to be pushing it out the way, and there is none that can reinforce it. And there ends probably our longest war. Alright, Oman, let's just pop it, yeah. And let's put these 10 in the main 72. And there's Molotov. Next up, we need to get into the Comintern to be safe. Otherwise, Germany would just declare on us. But we have a major problem. Thanks to world tension not being 90%, we can't join the Comintern. We have this nice national spirit, aloof neutrality. Luckily, there's a pretty easy way around this. So, justify in the US, 69%. Justify in Japan, 84%. Justify in China, 91%. Join Comintern. And now we can get rid of these justifications. It's weird, but it worked, so I can live with it. It's like HOI4 forgets that we could just make world tension as high as we want it to. And in the end, we got 70,000 guns. I know we're losing a lot of guns, mostly from our exercising, but we should be okay. I mean, I can always tell the exercise to stop. And it's begun. Let's get involved immediately. Let's justify in France for French Guiana, the classic. 45 days, good enough. The Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact should keep us safe from around Maginot. What spirit of division command should we go for? Normally I'd go for Flex Org, but I think Smoke and Fire would be better today. So let's go for it. Can't hurt. For focus now, I really do not have any recommendations. Do whatever you like. You could go down to the research slot, to Zaldazay Works, Crown Jewel Colony. Any would be alright. Let's go. Immediately, let's grab that military access. And we'll send the first army into Germany. only guarding the victory points. And of course, only their core victory points. We don't need to guard Prague, because that's not cored. But we do need to guard the Sudetenland, because it is. I'm also going to start getting a justification on Luxembourg. Sometimes Germany can be quite finicky about that one. Anyway, with this little army, let's plan the naval invasions of Britain. It's going to be the standard 5 naval invasions around Newcastle and Hull. It works, it's classic, let's do it. And there they go. No, don't go over water. But alright, I've been waiting on this one long enough, let's prepare our naval invasion and let it go. Oh, what do you know, no supremacy. I'm sure we'll get it though soon enough. And Italy's in the war too. So similarly, send the other army to defend their victory points as well. The Order 66 is ready, but we're sure not. Oh, finally got supremacy. Weird how we might be able to deal with the UK before we deal with France, but whatever. The main thing with this, as usual, will just be to encircle and destroy units for war score. It's a classic. But you know what's also a classic? Getting intercepted. Alright, at least we should be able to force attack our way through this. We're going to encircle Hull and support the attack. And perfect. We'll summon the first 2 armies to Britain and we'll get going. What on earth was that? A UK unit tried to return into Hull. I would have been miffed if that happened. And justification on Luxembourg. Good. At least there'll be no shenanigans with that. Oh, look who finally showed up and declared on them. Got it. Perfect. And now we'll just destroy units until we lead the conference. Already 27%. Oh, finally Germany got its boots on and took Paris. I guess Luxembourg was the key. Whoa, look at that. The UK just pumped out a crap ton of units onto Cardiff. Well, I'm going to put them right into the sea. That's probably the UK's biggest loss of the war. Right. It's the end of the month. I haven't seen any new units from the UK in a long time. Germany is about to retake the lead in the conference. I think we should just cut our losses here and finish. Right, for this peace conference, the main thing is actually France. We need to make sure we have a French puppet that owns Ile-de-France. So we will make sure of that for sure. So we're going to do the cheap puppet with France. What should be the cheap state for them? Alsace-Lorraine? No, it can't be that. It looks like it's going to have to be something really silly like Saint-Pierre-Maquillon. Fine, so be it. Anyway, the rest of the peace deal, as long as we ensure France and its Vichy France should be okay. The only other thing I really want is the UK's fleet, so we'll do a cheap puppet on them too. Anything else is just a bonus. I should have called in the Dutch East Indies so we could take in British Malaya directly, but oh well. There's a little bit of advice for you. 39 states for us, 52 for Germany, 1 for Slovakia. And now the French Commune will annex Vichy. Alright, next let's plan for the Order 66. I know I've already put these 2 army groups, but we can do a little bit more to ensure it. We're going to put the main army in big victory points, because sometimes they can be annoying to take. So for instance, the first army is going to go to Vienna and Danzig. The second army will do a lot of Italian work, because that is also usually a pain. So they're going to go to Naples, Genoa, Venice, and Latium. That should do. We're also going to split off 12 divisions and send them there. The remaining 12 divisions will be on a fallback line, something like this. It means Germany will actually declare against us when they're allowed to. Let's take all of the UK and France's divisions and send them in. Right, let's do this. When we leave the Comintern, Germany can declare on us. And they've done it, and Order 66 immediately fires. Surprisingly, we've pretty much taken all the major victory points. Vienna fell without a fight, which is rare. But alright, let's now spread out. Next step will be to ensure Italy gets in, and we have them taken down too. There's Italy. Good. Naples is already mostly encircled, but we should also push it. Palermo is alright, but we need to take Palermo's port. Works accidentally lost to Val d'Isère, but we have had a pretty good start. Remember, every tile is worth half a victory point, and considering Germany's only at 22%, these tiles will be very useful to take. Looks like Italy's going to be a big pain. Oh no! Italy's fallen! Wow! I thought Germany would fall first, but now we have to ensure that they're the ones who fall. 1% to go. And that's perfect. I forgot to get military access from the other Axis members so we don't deal with them, but honestly, we were going for Germany and Italy anyway, and that's what we got. We're just going to annex them. I'm still at war with Hungary, aren't I? Very well, we're still at war with Hungary. Well, that won't be much of a problem. Just going to quickly disband the main stacks that we used to Order 66, and we'll use the normal ones to get rid of Hungary. Worst case, we could just call in Stalin. I'm sure he can help us. Speaking of Stalin, let's get back into the Comintern where we belong. Nice, some little encirclements. And that's that for Hungary. Unfortunately, we didn't gauge any Bulgarians, so Bulgaria survives. But that's the end of that. And you know what? Let's form the United Benelux, because why not? There we go, Benelux Socialist States. But I didn't promise that, did I? No. I promised the European Union, but we can only do that as democratic. And how are we going to flip democratic? We have no access to a democratic reformer or anything. If you saw my recent post on the ultimate ideology exploit, you will be knowing what's coming next. So, let's get some justifications going. First one, on China. Second one, on Japan. 30 and 45 days respectively. We're going to need a lot of political power to be doing this, so we're just going to be saving it. Although I will make an exception to get rid of France. And there's our justification on China done. And now we're going to be doing another one. We've already integrated France, and now we're going to send everything else that we can to them. And our justification on Japan is done, so we need to get another justification going. We need around 8 justifications to pull off what I'm planning. Alright, with that, now we're going to save political power. And another justification. We just need so many. And here's where the magic happens. Our war goal has just expired. Now what did this mean? Well, simple. We don't have that war goal anymore. But something more important has happened. I reckon many of you have never noticed this before. This has 3 effects. It takes away 30 political power, takes away 5% war support, but also takes away 5% of communist support. So we currently have 75% support for communism. Now it's 70. That's how we're going to flip back democratic. We're going to use this to get all the way back to 60%. Paradox might have thought they'd locked us into communist, but nope. With this ultimate ideology exploit, we will flip back. And yeah, I have talked about this ideology exploit before on a community post, but this is actually the first time I've found a good use for it. I've used it to make Russia democratic before with like Bukharin, but I didn't think that was the best video I could do with it. It's good to finally have a use for it, you know. But of course, keep your justifications going, keep them going. It's very easy when you have justifications like these that only take 45 days. If it's justifications that take 125 days, you'll still get it, but it will just take a lot longer. And there we go, there goes another one. And yes, this will totally set world tension ablaze. But at this point, world tension is just a number anyway. And there you go, as you can see here, the Soviets have a non-aggression pact with Japan. So Japan won't be coming after us for a while at least. And there we go, here's our final one. We are over 64% now, and if we scroll down, scroll up I should say, but here it is, democracy on the rise. What do you know, long time no see, eh? I'm going to wait for this to be forced upon me. Not because I have any other plans with it, I just want to annex France first. Too late, been forced upon me, we need a referendum. And look who's back. Can't believe we ever got to see you again. There you go, we're now just the United Kingdom of the Netherlands. And there's another benefit. Since we're now democratic again, we can finally go to local autonomy. Alright, let's do this. And finally, when we scroll down, realise European unity is ready. Let's do it. The United Kingdom of the Netherlands no more. We are the European Union. Is this an end to all European war? You know what? That might be the case. But I don't think there's anyone who can really stop us now. 500 factories, 1.8 million manpower already. We could get so much more. We could easily get the UK's fleet. You know what? I think we can safely call ourselves unstoppable now. This is such a weird way to form in the European Union, isn't it? I know many people do it with the Netherlands with the actual unity through democracy tree, but I thought, well, I've learned of this exploit. Let's do it. Let's do something fun with it. And you know what? I'd call that very fun. Is it something that should really be allowed in HOI4? That's debatable. But at the end, it got results. There is now direct rule from Amsterdam. So usually I do practice this for my games, and I did practice for this, but I didn't actually get to the point where I actually formed the EU itself. So actually being able to form it is quite funny and quite, again, fun. However, until next time everybody, I thank you for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed it. Feel free to leave any suggestions in the comments below for future ideas. I'm always looking for them. However, until we meet again, from me, Bubble Zest, goodbye. You can also do the exact reverse of this. Get rid of democratic support and eventually flip back to communist. Because we've already used our referendum, we'll have to get it forced upon us. And there it is, communism on the rise. We need yet another referendum. And there goes Yerk. Welcome back, Lou. The European Commune is now the supreme one on the continent.